mate, Daniel got dropped in the first round, and I said, he's winning the fight. Everybody around me looked at me like, what? I'm like, he's winning the fight. And then guess what he did? He fucking fight. He just bit bodies, gumshoe, and carried on.
What about that first knockdown? What did he do with Fabio Wardley?
Fabio was not ready for boxing. He was no jab, nothing, looking for power shots. It's like he didn't train. He was busy commentating. Little bastard. He was supposed to fucking train in the gym. Dude, how many jabs did Fabio chuck? Less jabs. He didn't chuck no jabs. He didn't do anything we've seen before. You know, and today, Sam Smith was right. He goes, you're only a world champion until you fight.
The highly anticipated showdown between Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois has finally come to an end, and the boxing world is already buzzing with reactions. Here's a look at what some of the biggest names and legends in boxing had to say about this exciting clash and how they viewed the outcome of the fight.
It was going to be. It was much better than I thought it was going to be. These two guys, they gave everything, heart, soul. I mean, I don't want to hear any more about Daniel Dubois being a quitter, and what a heart Fabio's got. I mean, they both took big shots, carried on all the way through it. I mean, it was just a brutal fight, which was all about guts and determination, and probably one of the best heavyweight fights I've seen certainly in the UK.
Yeah, it certainly was, and it was called Don't Blink. Everyone said it wasn't going to go the distance, but it did go a lot further than I think a lot of people thought it was going to.
Me too, because they took the shots. I mean, when the first round, when he got caught on the head, it's like when he fought Kevin Lorena. You get a bit discombobulated when you get caught on the top of the head, and he did well to get over that.
What about Daniel Dubois and that?
Daniel was fucking amazing. He was getting hit, but he was not quitting. He didn't have the quit in his eyes this day. You see, we wanted to win the fight.
I'll tell you what, it's one of the best fights I've ever seen. One of the best fights. Fair play to Fabio Wardley. What a hard man he is. He didn't want to quit. His corner didn't pull him out. And Daniel Dubois kept his composure. He kept his composure, stuck to the plan. He started to get a bit tired himself. He realised that Wardley has still got something in the tank. He kept pulling it out of the bag. He looked dead on his feet. But what a fight that was, and listen, fair play to Fabio Wardley.
It was unbelievable fight, you know, it was very crazy, very hard fight. Yeah, I like it.
How did you see the fight progressing when Fabio hurt Daniel in the first round?
Yeah.
Did you think he was going to go on to win?
Yeah, but you know, this is heavyweight boxing. You know, first of all, when I see the situation, I say crazy, yeah, Fabio will stop the fight early, but you know, you see the result.
You see Fabio's face, his blood was a mess. How much heart and desire did I done very better?
It was very hard for him. You know, I think today, yeah, it seemed good.
Andy Bill, 5 TV, joined by Buddy McGirt. Buddy, what a main event that was. What did you make of it?
Hell of a fight. I think the worst thing that happened was that knockdown in the first round.
Even a seasoned veteran like Derek Chisora finds this matchup incredibly difficult to predict, admitting that his close relationships with both camps make choosing a winner nearly impossible. With strong personal connections to both fighters and a great deal of respect for the coaches guiding them, Chisora prefers to remain neutral rather than take sides and potentially upset longtime friends. He praises the skill, determination, and experience present on both sides, emphasizing that each man has the tools needed to come out victorious. In his view, the contest is so closely matched and unpredictable that making a confident prediction is extremely challenging. The only thing he feels certain about is that fans are in for a high-stakes battle where both fighters will be forced to dig deep and perform at their very best.
After that, Wardley was just looking for that right hand. No jabs, no defense, no left hook. Sorry, meat and chicken. You know what I mean? But it was a hell of a fight. He showed the heart of a champion, and I think there should be a rematch.
Do you think that created that false sense of like the fight was kind of heading towards Fabio's favour, that first round knockdown then?
When the knockdown happened, I was like, oh shit. But then in the third round, I was like, I don't know. And then once Dubois' jab started landing, I told the guy sitting next to me, it's over.
A lot of comments online complaining about the referee and maybe saying he should have been pulled out. What's your thoughts on that? Listen, in a fight like that, because you've seen Fabio Wardley, pull himself out from the brink of getting beat before. You can understand why Howard Foster didn't want to jump in the way. He gave him every chance. He took him to the doctor twice, I think, and the doctor said, "You know, carry on." But personally, if it was me, I'd have pulled him out a round ago and saved him from that finish. He finished on his feet, but he took far too many shots.
A word on Daniel Dubois' heart. Everyone all this week's been bringing up him quitting and not getting back up, questioning his heart, and he showed a lot tonight.
Well, I think when he went in against Joyce when he was young, people said he quit. He didn't quit. He had an eye damage, and since then you've never seen him quit. And he's come back well. It's great to see him get the win after everything he's been through, but at any point Fabio Wardley could have pulled that shot out of the bag. I mean, he had him down twice in the opening rounds. So, fair play to Dubois. Composed himself, believed in himself, and came through that fight and got the win in the end.
I have to ask you, buddy, we saw moments where Don Charles seemed to be kind of slapping Daniel Dubois in the corner.
Right.
As a trainer yourself now, what do you make of that? Is that something?
Wake him up. Calm down and you got knocked down. So what? Wake him up. Once he started using the jab, it was over.
We know in the past Fabio showing tremendous heart. He's done it again.
Well, listen, I love
tonight.
Fabio. He showed a lot of heart. Hell of a champion.
Oh, where did you get that?
I hijacked two guys coming in, man.
God bless you.
Very quickly as well, obviously Callum Smith was due to face David Morrell before the injury. David Morrell with a shock loss tonight to Zach Chelly. What did you make of that?
Listen, this is boxing, man. Anything happens. You know what I mean? So he took on a tough guy. He didn't take a walk in the park. When you get a guy that has everything to gain and nothing to lose, they're the worst guys to fight.
Bruno also shared his thoughts on how to deal with a dangerous and aggressive fighter, offering advice that is both straightforward and intimidating. According to him, there is no room for hesitation, caution, or unnecessary exchanges at close range against someone as relentless as Fabio Wardley. He believes that trying to play it safe could quickly become a costly mistake. Instead, Bruno insists that the only effective response to Wardley's constant pressure and aggressive style is to match his intensity from the very beginning. In his view, any opponent stepping into the ring with Wardley must be prepared to fight with the same level of determination, aggression, and bad intentions that Wardley is certain to bring from the opening bell.
I'm going to sit on the fence on this one. I'm not going to pick a side. I'm not going to pick a side.
You normally tell us to pick a side.
I'm going to sit on the fence.
No,
because
we need you, Derek.
I know Don is training Dubois, and then the last time I always give prediction, Don gets all upset and I'm not talking to you. Why don't you have loyal to me? Blah blah blah. So I'm not gonna say anything. And I like Fabio. I've known Fabio for years. I see him. We talk. There's always mutual respect there. So I'm not gonna say who's gonna win or who's gonna lose. So I apologize for that. But all I know is we're gonna have a good fight.
Don is a good man as well. Yeah. I've got a lot of time for
so
Don
this
Charles.
is my reason why I'm not picking a side, because both fighters, they got something I know about them. So wish them luck, and I hope they come out ring safe.
Bruno remains skeptical about Daniel Dubois' long-standing inconsistency, pointing out that there are two very different versions of the heavyweight contender. On his best nights, Dubois looks like a world-class fighter with devastating power and the ability to overwhelm almost anyone in the division. However, Bruno notes that when the pressure starts to build, Dubois can sometimes lose his composure and fall into awkward habits that affect his performance. While he fully acknowledges Dubois' punching power, he questions whether it will be enough to stop a fighter as relentless and durable as Fabio Wardley. In Bruno's view, Wardley thrives in chaotic exchanges and possesses a ruthless mentality, seemingly taking great satisfaction in physically wearing down and breaking apart anyone who stands in front of him.
He's a funny guy, 1 minute he's up, 1 minute he's down. And sometimes when he gets around his head, he starts going to do some funky movements, you know what I mean? If he can keep to the Daniel that we all know at his best, knocking for 6, but I don't think he'll do that. This guy, the guy is very, very dangerous guy, very confident guy, and he wants to, you can see he desperately wants to do well for himself, and he will do with the power what he's got, because he don't breaking the man's jaw, breaking the man's rib, or breaking the man's nose is different. different to do that in our days, but these days he's just breaking wherever he is.
As the expert analysis continues to intensify, veteran boxing journalist Gareth A. Davies embraces the unpredictable nature of a matchup that simply refuses to be defined by logic, statistics, or conventional expectations. He believes this is the kind of heavyweight contest where predictions become increasingly difficult because both fighters possess the ability to completely change the course of the fight in a single moment. Davies paints a picture of pure heavyweight drama, with every possible scenario seemingly on the table. Whether the bout develops into a calculated tactical battle, a high-paced war of attrition, or ends in a devastating early knockout, he sees the margin between those outcomes as incredibly thin. In his view, the fight is balanced on a knife's edge, making it one of the most fascinating and unpredictable matchups in recent memory.
See the fight going two ways. I can see Fabio Wardley winning it. I can see Daniel Dubois winning it. I can see Daniel Dubois spectacularly outboxing Fabio Wardley if everything goes well for him on the night. I can see Fabio Wardley stopping Daniel Dubois at any point and breaking him down. I can see a 12-round war. I can see the fight ending early on either side. That's what makes this so exciting. Two young fighters in their prime who are extremely exciting in their heavyweight.
The discussion gains an added layer of credibility as Frazer Clarke, a fighter who has experienced Fabio Wardley firsthand in the ring and also shared sparring sessions with Daniel Dubois, offers a unique perspective on both heavyweights. Drawing from his personal experience, Clarke sheds light on qualities that many observers may not fully appreciate from the outside. He rejects the notion that Dubois is carrying lasting mental scars from previous setbacks, arguing that the champion possesses a rare mindset and personality that allow him to move forward without being weighed down by high-profile defeats. According to Clarke, Dubois has always been a different kind of competitor, someone capable of blocking out criticism, learning from difficult moments, and remaining focused on the challenges ahead rather than dwelling on past disappointments.
Fight, I think both fighters will go into it full of confidence as well. Even though Daniel Dubois is coming off that defeat to Usyk, I'm not sure it would affect him as much as it would affect other fighters.
No,
knowing him as a character. Fabio Wardley, he probably feel like he's just floating on a cloud right now. I think everything in the last little few months he touches turns to gold. He's just been fantastic. He's improved an awful lot. And when I look at him now, I see the confidence that sort of radiates off him. Even though he didn't win the title in the ring,
he beat Joe Parker.
But he beat Joe Parker, which is basically a world title fight, isn't it? So as a boxing fan, and obviously everyone loves the heavyweights, you couldn't ask for much more than this fight. And like I said, I think we're all in for a treat because I don't know.
Dismissing the idea that Wardley's success comes from landing a lucky punch, Coldwell argues that his ability to find ways to win is built on years of dedication, preparation, and countless hours of focused work in the gym. According to him, Wardley's late fight success is not the product of chance, but the result of carefully developed skills and repeated drills designed for high-pressure situations. Coldwell emphasizes that what may appear to fans as a sudden miracle or unexpected turnaround is often a calculated move that has been practiced time and time again behind the scenes. This level of preparation, he explains, is what makes Wardley such a dangerous opponent, as he remains a genuine threat from the opening bell all the way to the final seconds of the 12th round.
Ask for much more than this fight, and like I said, I think we're all in for a treat because I don't know.
Who are you leaning towards?
I'm gonna say, after being in the ring with him twice, and obviously we know what happens, I really struggle to see past Fabio Wardley now at the minute with anyone really, because he seems to find a way, and I've seen vulnerabilities from Daniel in the past. So I think my head sort of says, and my heart actually, I like Fabio, so I think it sort of leans that way. But Daniel Dubois, I've said this a million times, other than David Price.
Coldwell also highlights what he sees as several tactical weaknesses in Fabio Wardley's defensive game, noting that previous opponents were able to find success by consistently using the jab and breaking through his guard. He points out that Wardley has been outboxed at times during tough battles, only for his trademark power and determination to rescue him when the fight appeared to be slipping away. At the same time, Coldwell believes that Daniel Dubois' technical abilities are often overlooked, with many fans focusing solely on his punching power. He argues that Dubois possesses the skills, timing, and ring intelligence needed to control the contest if he remains patient and disciplined. In his view, a focused and technically sharp Dubois could potentially neutralize Wardley's biggest strengths and dismantle the momentum that has carried him through difficult fights before he gets the opportunity to land his fight-changing equalizer.
Ian Wardley, is there anything that Dubois can expose in Wardley? I think it's a very, very close fight, by the way.
I think Fabio will know himself. He only has to look at his face after most of the fights. You know, he's marked up a lot. I think his defence has had to get better or needed to get better. But I do think off the Hooney fight and the Parker fight, I'm seeing the development of Fabio Wardley as a boxer. I think he's improving in most departments, to be honest. So I think he has bridged that gap, whereas Daniel, I've always thought, has got very solid basics, but maybe the emotion of the situation sort of might overcome him sometimes.
Fraser, you've been in with Fabio a couple of times.
Yeah. Duke McKenzie analyzes the defensive structure that Daniel Dubois has developed, placing particular emphasis on the way he uses his size, physical strength, and disciplined guard to make himself an extremely difficult target to hit cleanly. McKenzie explains that Dubois' massive frame, combined with a tight high guard, allows him to absorb pressure while limiting the openings available to his opponents. He believes that if Dubois consistently keeps his chin tucked behind his shoulders and maintains proper defensive positioning, he can effectively create a barrier that will be difficult for Fabio Wardley to break through. According to McKenzie, the fight could ultimately come down to the smallest details, where a minor adjustment in stance, head position, or defensive awareness may have a huge impact on the outcome. In a heavyweight contest where power is always a factor, he stresses that a matter of inches could determine the difference between avoiding danger and absorbing a devastating shot.
Dubois shapes up against Fabio Wardley. Daniel Dubois is a big guy, okay? We all know that. He's got big shoulders. He holds his hand, his lead hand, his left hand really, really high, keeps it up nice and high, keeps his right hand, his backhand up by his chin, got big shoulders, uses them big shoulders. He uses them shoulders almost to protect himself, protect his chin. But he needs to make his shoulders more what we call rounded, keep them a little bit more rounded so they're a little bit more closer to his jawline, because that's where the bullets are going to start coming from Wardley. So he's going to have to keep his shoulders up nice and high, keep his left hand up nice and high, keep just a little bit of weight on the front foot. So as he steps into Wardley, we all know Daniel Dubois has got an excellent jab, okay? He does. Doesn't matter where he throws it from, where he throws it from his chest, where he throws it from his shoulder, it's an excellent jab. So what he's got to do, he's got to keep that jab nice and high. He's got to be pumping it out, maybe in 1, 2s and 3s. We don't generally see Daniel Dubois throwing a triple jab, so maybe a double jab would be more conducive for him. It might work better for him, a double jab. So what you see with Daniel Dubois generally is that, a big jab, a big jab, a big jab, a big jab. He's got big shoulders. My shoulders aren't as big as his. What I'm saying is, he uses them shoulders nice and big.
The discussion then turns to Daniel Dubois' devastating offensive abilities, with a particular focus on the trademark combinations that have played a major role in many of his victories. Duke McKenzie highlights the powerful sequences of punches that Dubois throws once he gains momentum, noting that they have consistently overwhelmed and broken down opponents throughout his career. He warns that Fabio Wardley cannot afford to become a stationary target, even for a brief moment, because Dubois is exceptionally dangerous when he senses an opportunity to attack. According to McKenzie, a single lapse in movement or defensive awareness could result in a relentless barrage of hooks, straight rights, and heavy combinations coming his way. He describes Dubois' offensive approach as having a frightening level of precision and efficiency, with every punch serving a purpose. The strategy is designed to back opponents into unfavorable positions, cut off their escape routes, and unleash the full force of heavyweight power, creating the kind of impact that can instantly change the course of a fight.
Right hand, left hook, all off the front foot. Double jab, right hand, left hook. It's quite a savage punch for Dubois, actually, just thinking about it. He goes double jab, right hand, left hook. He just gets maximum body weight between the shots. If Fabio Wardley hasn't used his footwork to get out of the way, he's a sitting target. Because once Daniel Dubois catches him, he drops everything. And in doing so, double jab, right hand, left hook, right hand again. You might see an occasional uppercut. He's not an uppercut merchant, Dubois. He's more of a hooker. He likes a hook, a left hook, double jab,
Mackenzie describes Daniel Dubois as more than just a heavy puncher, calling him a patient and calculated predator who gradually cuts off the ring and limits his opponent's options. Instead of rushing forward, Dubois takes small, measured steps behind his jab, slowly reducing the available space and forcing his opponents into uncomfortable positions. Mackenzie explains that this constant pressure creates a trap that becomes harder to escape with every passing moment. According to him, Dubois' approach is built on control, patience, and timing, allowing him to wear opponents down before unleashing his devastating power when the opportunity finally appears.
Dubois got quite quick hands. Hands come out quite quick, which is quite surprising given his size. But he gets maximum leverage, he gets maximum speed just by planting his feet. Daniel Dubois is what I call a predator in the ring, which simply means he doesn't hurry anything. He's like a predator. He just stalks you slowly, 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 and cuts the ring size down in what we call bite-sized pieces. You don't see Daniel Dubois doing this at any point. He's not that guy. He's not that guy. He doesn't do that. Daniel Dubois, he keeps his shoulders up nice and rounded. He keeps his hands up. He keeps his chin down a little bit. He pumps the jab. He pumps the jab. And every time he pumps that jab, he's just closing the ring size down because he takes half a step in. So he's not taking half a step out. He's just cutting the ring size down.
That wraps up today's video. We hope you enjoyed this breakdown of the highly anticipated clash between Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois. Let us know your thoughts and predictions in the comments below, and share your reaction to this exciting heavyweight matchup. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more boxing news, fight analysis, and exclusive content.